Welcome to the Muscle Car Fan Live Talk Show with your host, Pat Caporuscio, who has decades of experience buying, selling, racing, and being involved with muscle cars of all types, especially 60s and 70s models. Our editor, Ross Mills, has been restoring and driving classic cars since he was in his early teens and has gained valuable knowledge of things to avoid and the best ways to approach car restoration. He continues to be heavily involved in muscle cars of all types. Now with your host, Pat Caporuscio, we bring you the Muscle Car Fan Live Talk Show with our guest, Ross Mills.
Hey everybody, this is Pat Caporuscio and welcome to the show. This is our first interview for the Muscle Car Fan community, and our first guest is Ross Mills, who's the editor of this site. He's put together all the articles, all the information you see on the site, and Ross is a longtime car enthusiast and an excellent writer and researcher, and he's responsible for everything you see on the show there. How are you today, Ross?
I'm fine, Pat. I've been looking forward to talking to you for a long time. It's nice to hear your voice.
And you're in Canada, eh?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're in Vancouver.
So let's get on to some of these restoration secrets that grizzled veterans usually learn the hard way. So these are just a few of the tips that we have. Number one being, which is where you should start out, is what's the best way to choose a vintage car? What's your take on that, Ross?
The first thing I would say is choose one that you want. Choose a car you want. Don't settle for less than what you really want. You can find one at a modest price, most cars, unless you got your heart set on a King of the Road Mustang or Boss 429 or 454 or something unusual like a Chevelle with a 454. You can find something that'll please you. But I'd say the best thing to get in a car is one that's rust-free, as rust-free as possible, without major frame damage, preferably one that's drivable, one that's in driving condition when you pick it up, when you look at it. You can take it out for a road test and just get a bit of a feel for the car. People want to do things gung-ho, and it's really the wrong way to approach restoration.
We can talk about, once you get those cars, how to store them before restoration and after. Do you have I know you got an article on that and some information. Okay, so let's talk about the storage aspect of when maybe you just bought a pretty rundown muscle car that you're going to totally restore, and then how do you store that till you work on it, and then how do you store it after you restore it?
I think ideally what you want is a double garage. You keep your tools and workbench on one side and then have parts and tools in the rest of the place. I would like a parts car that I could take into the second part of the garage, dismember it. You've got parts you need, and you've got parts for cores, so you'll be able to drive your car. You're going to need you're going to need an alternator. You can send it out and get it rebuilt before you can send the core out and have it rebuilt and ready to go in your car. It's so much more convenient to have a parts car. Get parts, store them. That's the cheapest way to keep your car going. But a double garage is ideal. If you can get a cloth cover as well, is a good idea for a car that's been restored. Keep the paint well. You're going to want a cover for it. Cotton cover is good. All-weather cover is also good, but it doesn't breathe. You'd have to keep it off the vehicle if you're going to be storing it for any length of time. Mm-hmm. Mold, mildew, and things like that are a problem. You want to, if you're not in a heated facility, you'd want something to retard moisture on the carpet, say, or prevent mold from starting. You can clean it. You can keep a water-absorbing material in there. I think borax works well to absorb water.
Okay.
Baking powder. Um, you can keep charcoal briquettes in a small container there, and they'll absorb moisture. You can keep a light bulb in the vehicle. I've heard of that being done to absorb moisture if you're not in a dry climate.
So going back to if it's restored and you don't plan on driving it for a while, this is probably a fairly obvious question, but should you drain out your gas, drain all your gas out of it?
You should definitely drain the gas out of it. If it's something that's restored and you're just storing it for 6 months, you can keep the gas tank full to the top, and you'd have to use a fuel extender widely available from any good auto support parts place. You put it in your gasoline. What you do is put it in a near empty tank, fill up the tank, and drive the car for 20 minutes. Store it with a full tank, and that gas will keep up to a year in most cases. I would also recommend using gasoline as opposed to an ethanol blend, because the ethanol doesn't last as long as gasoline. It'll start breaking down a lot earlier because there's no oils in it. It's a drier burning
So
fuel.
I have a
10% ethanol is common in many gas stations.
okay. So I had just a random question. When I had my 429 Torino, it had the original motor that wasn't rebuilt, and I read somewhere that I needed to put lead in the gas and not run so much unleaded gas. Do you know anything about that?
Well, the lead preserves the gas. It's also a lubricant, but it's harmful to their health. I mean, we don't want to breathe.
Right. Right.
We don't want lead entering our atmosphere or entering the ground. We don't want to be around it.
Right.
I can remember when we switched over to unleaded gasoline, people were really worried about this in their old cars, and they switched over. It worked fine. For a long time, maybe you still can buy an additive for the gasoline. Maybe that's what the extenders are now. It's just adding lead to the gas. I'm sure. I haven't read the contents of them, but I know they work. I've never really stored a car like that for a long time. I've always liked to use a tank of gas. But I mean, if you're rebuilding the car, the best thing to do is take the tank out, take all that stuff out. The tank can be resealed. They have a compound you put in the tank, and it'll take out all the rust, and you'll be able to. Yeah, you can restore the tank, and
you have all sorts of hundreds of articles on all of these processes on the site, so that's another reason to head over there. We're just kind of going over the surface of some of the stuff you've written, which is pretty amazing. Let's move on to talk about why you should keep all the original parts from the car when you replace them. I'm a pack rat, so I keep everything. So other people might want to throw them out. Just tell us why should we keep them?
Historical interest. They belong on the car. If you alter it from original, even if you put disc brakes on it, keep the parts. If you're planning something to be passed down, there's value in having it original and having the original parts, being able to put them back. By the same token, you don't want to put holes in the dash or holes in the hood. You don't want to put added scoops on the car unless you're doing a hot rod. It's just not advisable. Best to keep it as close to stock as possible. If you change it, keep the original parts. The new owner can put them back, or he'll at least have them with the vehicle.
Right, because once they're gone, and you may never see them again. Yeah.
You know, I can remember seeing a grill for my car at the time at a car show, and I thought, gee, I should grab that grill, and I didn't. And my grill got broken, and I sure could have used that grill. I wound up with a a third rate one, we had to get parts from another grill that were all rusted out grill, and we re-chromed them, but that showed through very quickly.
Right.
Yeah, keep the original part, please.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll never regret it.
Yeah, don't throw it out. Here's what you get in the VIP Owners Club from Ross Mills and Muscle Car Fan. There's over 100 pages of reports on restoration, including buyer's guide, maintenance guide, owner's guide, 58 questions before buying with answers, of course, and a breakdown of the 25 best muscle cars to own, and access to all the jam session replays and archives, including restoration excerpts and interviews. And I know we have a pretty high-profile guest coming on next week. I can't say who yet until they tell us the time, but we're excited to announce that, and we'll announce it on Facebook and our email list and every place that we get a hold of you at. The club finances Muscle Car Fan. This allows us to bring you great content that we add to constantly. Ross is working day and night to research and put these articles out based on his knowledge and the research he comes up with. That's why he wants to talk to you and wants to get everybody's experiences, because that's really what counts.
Pat, I'd like to add that most of the content on Muscle Car Fan is free, no charge for it.
Right. It's the VIP club, Owners Club, is just $19.95 a quarter, and you get access to a higher level of information, wouldn't you say? Or describe what we get.
By far, there's a lot more information. I've gone into the maintenance a lot more thoroughly, and an owner's guide, what you're going to do with the car after you buy it, and it is in moderately to good to excellent condition, or the best way to keep it that way.
Right, and just one piece of information could save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, so it's definitely worth it just for that. And
you know, rust is going to show up. You're going to put it off as long as possible, but there's always rust that shows up at some point.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Michigan. I'm in Michigan. Rust is a car's middle name. You know, Ford Rust, Chevy Rust, Rambler Rust, RR. So they can sign up now. That's all they have to do is click to the right and join and support the show. It's as simple as that, Ross?
Very easy. Just a click of the mouse away, and you can get access to everything we have.
Okay. Well, cool. I want to thank everybody for listening in, and I want to thank Ross Mills for being on the show and sharing some of your knowledge with us, and we look forward to a lot of the stuff you're putting on the site and the information. We're going to have experts in all sorts of muscle car areas as guests in the future, and we'll cover all sorts of topics. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, let us know, and we'll line it up for that. And to find out how to get involved, go to musclecarfan.com. I'm Pat Caparucio, your host for musclecarfan.com, and see you at the drag strip or one of the many thousands of car shows across the United States, Canada, Mexico. I'm sure there's some in South America too. So see you later.
Don't forget Australia.
Australia, of course, if you're traveling to Australia. Bye for now.
Thanks, Pat. Bye.
All right. See you, Ross.
Do you have a vintage car you want to restore? A muscle car that you want to show off or sell? Or you're just curious about what's going on in the muscle car world today? Well then, MuscleCarFan.com is the place to be. MuscleCarFan.com is the first and only community dedicated to preserving American muscle car history and restoring these magnificent machines. We have nearly 500,000 fans on Facebook and over 100 articles chronicling muscle car history. This entertainment and historical content is free. Check out our top 10 muscle cars of all times. Also, we offer additional VIP member premium services that will help you in the restoration process, solve problems, and connect with buyers, sellers, and restoration experts. Sign up now at musclecarfan.com to benefit from all the latest in muscle car fan adventures.